Well, here I am back home in Montana having a heavy dose of nostalgia, overwhelm, and excitement. Probably all in equal parts. But the nostalgia has been hitting hard, especially because I haven't been home for 8 months. I call my dad's house my home mainly because my stuff lives there. And it's been my childhood home. Sorry, it is my childhood home. And I got to pull out another set of sunglasses because I've been wearing the same sunglasses for 8 months. But anyway, I call my dad's house my home because I grew up there, and also because my stuff lives there, but I'm rarely ever quote unquote home because for the past 6 years I've been working in yachting and traveling and just constantly bebopping around, seeing other family members, seeing friends, and then working in different places. So that's why I'm rarely ever here. So the nostalgia is strong. I've been thinking about our house, how it looked when I was a little kid, and laughing about the giant stuffed toy collection I used to have, and all the Barbies whose hair I used to cut off. I don't know why. I thought I was going to be a hairdresser at some point. and going fishing with the neighbor in the street. So we would make fishing poles out of sticks and then somehow get a string and put worms from the garden on them, and then use those worms to try to fish in the water that would run along the down the side of the sidewalk usually when people were watering their lawns or whatever. And thinking about just old friends here, I grew up here, so some of my first friends, again, was my neighbor down the street, friends I met at school, and some of them I've kept in touch with my whole life. So it's interesting being in a house that has been in my family for 2 generations, and knowing that there's still people here that I've known since I was born. It's pretty incredible. The overwhelm is coming from the being back with family, and it's like the to-do list that never ends. I feel like no matter how long I'm gone, it could be a week, it could be 6 months, it could be 10 years. Like even when I was in Jackson, I was gone 10 years. And I came back and, my dad's to-do list is 8,000 miles long. And I was fortunate enough in 2020 to be able to get through a lot of that to-do list in a summer. I helped him finish a remodel he had been sitting on for 10 years. So there were paint buckets and paint brushes and wood and all sorts of stuff in his living room because he was using that as his workshop. And it had been like that he'd been remodeling for about 10 years. I think the paint buckets and the workshop in the living room had probably been 5 years up until I came in 2020. and that was when I basically project managed an entire remodel. Maybe not an entire, because he had already done the kitchen and the basement, but there was quite a bit left that still needed to be done. So that was an interesting 3 months. It was overwhelming. It's overwhelming when it's other people's to-do list and not yours. But as I said, I kind of project managed it and made all the necessary phone calls and got everything lined up that needed to be done. And then as we were waiting for like the flooring guys, for example, I made sure we had the walls painted and certain things put in that needed to be put in before the flooring went down and all of that. So yeah, every time I come home, there is a laundry list of things to do, and I realized this time around that it's not going to change. It's always going to be there. That's just how my father is. Just realized that's how my father is. That's how he's always going to be. And so coming home to the to-do list was so much easier this time around because I knew it was going to be there. I knew that he would have several unfinished projects. I know that our parents need help with certain things. I think what makes me frustrated is that there's certain things that he could have help with as far as nice shady spot. Certain things he could get help with, but wants to do it himself. So instead of asking for help or instead of hiring help, he always does it himself and or waits until I'm home. And then that gets frustrating because I get home and again, the laundry list of to-do items is long. So I do as much as I can, help out as much as I can, and then usually there's my, okay, gotta go, time for another job, or, you know, with yachting, it was like, okay, I'm off to another yacht job, or when I was with the travel company, I was traveling to different places, leading groups, and so it gave me an excuse to put down his to-do list and leave. And this time around, it's great because I just know that the to-do list is going to be there, and I'm going to do as much as I can until I leave next week. So it's healthy. It feels healthier this time around. It doesn't feel so daunting. And of course, part of the overwhelm also is just me going through all my stuff, getting rid of stuff I don't need for this next adventure, packing stuff that I do need for this next adventure, and basically just, getting everything washed and cleaned up and put away and then repacked for the next go round, which is a pretty normal thing for me. So yeah, it always brings up a lot of nostalgia being home. It brings up a little bit of overwhelm. The thing I've noticed about this time around that's really different though is just my approach and my perception. Like I said about the to-do list, it's like I know that to-do list is never ending, and that's okay, and just being okay with it and allowing it to exist and not feel the need to fix it or control it or even really be a part of it, you know? And then also having these memories coming home, I feel like, you know, there's always so many different ways to look at the past and different situations, different circumstances, all of that. And coming home after being in Bali for 3 months and being gone for 8 months, I mean, I haven't been here for 8 months. I feel a big shift. I feel like I'm no longer looking at the past as this thing to worry about or criticize, or there's not so much like guilt or shame around all these things. It's like the memories that are coming up are actually like I said, funny, cute, humorous memories, like actually thinking of the joyful moments and the silly moments and the moments that also shaped me as a human, not all the moments that were hard, but the moments that were soft and funny and just, yeah, like cutting off all my Barbie's hair. So it's nice to come back and have this nostalgia that is also a reflection of my past and the joyful, happy, fun moments. So I can tell that this time away has been super important. And I can tell that I've changed a lot. And just having these two pieces of it be so different than they were 8 months ago, 2 years ago, 6 years ago, 20 years ago, having these fond memories and yeah, just dealing with the overwhelm that feels not overwhelming. It is what it is. It's so different than how I've approached coming home for the past 20, 25 years or so. So that's my story for today. I hope you have a good one.